Hello and welcome to The Hero Spouse. I'm Kendra Ruth, here to answer one of your questions about marriage and midlife crisis. Today we have an anonymous female left behind and forward-moving spouse with a bomb drop of July 21st, 2023, a date of marriage of 1996. She has a boomerang who is a high-energy replayer. She says, he got an apartment and the alienator moved in with him. He texted our adult children, who are 24 and 25, and me, that he plans to marry her as soon as the divorce is final. Now I'm going to stop for a moment and look back. I said that the bomb drop was July 21st. This is 2 months out from bomb drop. Okay, so I want you to understand that scene if you're reading this or watching this months or even years later. 2 months after bomb drop, he has moved in the alienator and he's now texted everybody that he's going to marry her. Okay. He filed for divorce. That is not the norm for those of you who are reading this. Some file it quickly, but most don't. They just threaten or they sit on it and they say they're going to do the paperwork. Maybe they pick it up. Maybe they don't do anything with it. Most aren't as quick as this. And I'm saying that as a reassurance to the others listening. Okay. So he filed for divorce and filed 2 restraining orders on me. One for firearms, as she is scared of guns, so I sold them. And the other is domestic violence on false accusations. I have an attorney. Oh, and my MLCer is an attorney, hence the deluge of paperwork he's filed on me. Okay. My questions is concerning divorce. Do you have any suggestions? I'm asking to keep the house, the spousal support, keep health insurance for a while at his expense, as I have breast cancer and I'm in remission. This is a no-fault state. I think we might have all no-fault states now, actually. I think that went down. New York might have been the last around 10 years ago. But, so when it comes specifically to suggestions on divorce, I would go with your attorney because that's not my area. And my hope is we all don't get to it. But clearly protect yourself, and you are going to have to build as strong and defense or opposition as he is, because he's coming at you hard, isn't he? And it's going to be very difficult for you. Yet I think this is very important to do, is for you to not set up your walls so strong that you are rigid and the anger comes through, not because of saving marriage. That would be grand, and you may not be interested in it. That's not why. Because I don't want your heart to be hardened and brittle for yourself, for your kids. What can you do to keep yourself softened and compassionate? That's my area. So when it comes for what should you do for divorce, you protect yourself to the best of your ability. And when I work with standers, we want a lawyer who's very compassionate, understanding that they don't really want this. And if their spouse comes up and says, okay, I want to drop it, they'll drop it, oftentimes in a second. So they don't want a shark. You might want a shark. You might want, are there lawyers who are specialize in working against, I was going to say with, but it's really against situations where the other person is a lawyer. Similar to how therapists there are therapists that specialize in working with therapists. They're the therapist. Is there a lawyer's lawyer, or not really the lawyer's lawyer, but where the lawyer is the opposition partner? Another thing that I would recommend is we have some MLC left behind spouses and forward-moving spouses on the forum whose spouses have been lawyers. And this behavior from the lawyer is not as unheard of as it is from the others. I mean, they come at you because they know how to be bullies and be sharks. They know how to argue. They often have this superiority complex that's going on. They think they're the expert, and they know how to, as you said, send a deluge of paperwork. And they're just going to bury you. So go on the forum and ask about, hey, can I get a group responding here of others here whose MLCers are also lawyers? And see if you can find some similarities. Even if the similarities aren't similar in how the MLC is playing out, are they in how they're handling the left behind spouse and handling divorce processes, and then strategies from that. Because that is going to be a smaller group, but they might have really great ideas on that. There's one, I can't think of names in my head, but that I can think of in the past, and he was awful like this in the sense, and it's been so quick, mean, lots of monstering, lots of superiority complex, and the one I'm thinking of, I think the whole family was lawyers and judges. So I want you to get some support from others that are within that, because you'll get some better responses than you would directly from me on that specific front. What to do in the divorce, how to handle it. I know that I want everybody to be strong. I think you have to come out of the gate stronger. And that's why I said that thing about what can you do to be soft, because that has me concerned. That you have to be so strong up front that it could be hardening for you. And I want you to do something that will protect. What can you do that is going to protect you? Protect your heart, protect your softness, your compassion, your empathy. Those are the things that I'm concerned. Can protect your vulnerability without showing it to him. You have to be an armadillo now, don't you? But an armadillo still has a soft underbelly. You need to protect it, but protect it so it's still soft. That's the key. So that you don't let it harm you. It's going to do damage, of course. There's trauma, but don't do it so that you aren't able to come through it and thrive with your joy intact, rather than coming through it with, I am hard, brittle, and bitter. That's my bigger concern, okay? He is going to do these things. Understand what midlife crisis is so you can have that compassion. Sure. Great. That's my stuff. That's my thing. But he is going out of the gate faster than most. First, know that. Know that, everyone listening. Most of them aren't quite, sure, sometimes they move in right away. And they proclaim that they're soulmates, even though they met the other woman or other man yesterday. But to first be taunting you by saying he's going to marry her so quickly, a lot of them hide that. And even when they don't hide it, he made sure everybody knew I'm marrying her and he just met her. Or I'm assuming he just met her. And then the paperwork, the filing, the accusations. He is trying to demonize you. That is beyond the projected blame we get. He is taking it to another level, and you need to do what you can to protect yourself. That's why I want that shark in your corner, okay? Sorry, I couldn't be more helpful about that part, but I want you to have somebody who's a real expert in it. And I will be here for any more questions you have, and I hope that I will see everybody else in the next question.